So I decided it was time to look at these watermelon for the seed trial. Ended up with, I think, 5 varieties in the end. One of them died off right away and didn't do anything. So what I did was I found a watermelon. I traced the stem back to wherever I had planted, and I have a marker for where I had it planted. And so then I took a Sharpie and wrote the code for the watermelon on each one. So I got 2 of this variety, 2 of this, 1 each of these. All of the first tendrils were dried up, and in fact, some of them, the whole vine is starting to dry up, so I definitely probably should be watering a little more right now. And these turned out pretty small, but I don't know that they're not supposed to be small. I have a feeling this is a blacktail mountain, and that's usually a pretty small one. But it's also usually a lot more prolific than it was this year. Like, this is it. Usually I have way more watermelon than this. So I don't know if everything was just too overcrowded, not watered enough. Definitely was a hot year. So, but you can see, I don't know. I don't usually go by the spot because, I mean, that's the spot that touches the ground. So obviously it's not getting light, so it's going to be a different color. But that one's nice and yellow. That one's kind of a light yellow. This whole watermelon's weird shaped. That one doesn't have much, but it's also a light colored melon. Same here. Oops, I keep gouging it with my fingernails. And then this guy, also a nice yellow one. So that's what we're working with, and I gotta go find my sheet to see exactly what I'm supposed to be rating it on, but then later on we will cut them all open and give them a try. We're getting to the point in the garden here where I kind of want to give up. It's a jungle. We've picked just about all of the muskmelon, and those are starting to die back. The weeds are taking over, and it is a wild mess out here. I'm going to do a little cleanup out here and pick some of these sunflower heads before the grasshoppers get to them too much, like they've started. But this guy, he's a big one. So I'm going to take those and dry them on my rack. I got quite a few here. I'm just going to bring them to the golf cart and transport them. So now I picked most of them. I left some of the smaller ones for the birds and whatnot, but all you have to do now is scrape the flowers off of here. It'll just help them dry out faster. And it looks like, for the most part, I got to these before the bugs did. And the birds and all that, so I'm happy about that. I love leaving these, well, I'll probably leave the tall ones that I can up through the winter. Birds and things like to pick at those. These bigger ones are usually gone by then. They get eaten pretty quick. But these we will dry out and save. So I got a pile of them, plus the big one. And I'm going to bring them over to the shed to hang them up. Here's one I want to show you. This is one that was already drying on the stalk. And you can see it's quite a bit different than these ones are all packed in. There's still moisture in them. And these have all started to dry. I think I can get one of these seeds out of there. And there's a few missing, they'll start falling out, so I like to get them before that happens. When they're still, this one you can see the bugs have gotten at it. But when they still have the little flowers on them, then they're, for the most part, not dry yet.